Topaz 5.
Yep.
So if you set up gedit well enough, and this you can get on from YouTube videos and you get to this stage, but all I'm doing is looking at going to scan level file, and all I'm doing is working my way down to this system. So its file name, I've just gone and searched for my raw file, but just by double clicking on that. The goodness of fit details, just give us a goodness of fit details. The mission profile, I can put that in now, but there is something called instrument down here that I'll be able to come and have a look at. Background, I'm just going to put a Chebyshev polynomial function. It's just a 3-term thing. Instrument, we can have lots and lots of different things associated with it if we want to. Okay. Now, you could try and put in a mission profile if you wish, but if you've got the Durham menu as well, it also helps. Okay, so if you go down to this and let's say you go to simply poly refinement, it will tell you what type of instrument you've got. If you've got a Durham D8, whatever. It doesn't matter that it's Durham, it's just D8 or not. Okay, so let's just click on that. It gives you some idea as to what that
D8 finder.
We've got a D8 and we've got one as well, so that should work. Okay, so I'll close that down again. Then what we can do is look for corrections. Okay, we could look for a 0 error. So if your flat plate is not, if your thing is not quite flat, it's okay. Anything else, not really bothered about. Mixture details, not really bothered about. Miscellaneous, okay, we could start and end, chopping depending on how things go, but we'll just leave it as it is. We can then output if we want to output stuff, but we're not wanting to do that at the moment. And file type extensions is file, fine. Okay, so we're just going to leave it all as that. And that is that. What we do then need to know, so that's the scan level bit. What we then want to do is we want to actually add in something about our structure. So now the best thing to do, poly refinement, the X coordinate, the degrees is what the unit cell size and shape are. The Y for polyfit is going to be taken from your diffraction pattern. It's got nothing to do with the structure. So the best thing we can do to ensuring to do this is to insert our and do a Rietveld refinement, and that means that we're going to go and use the crystal structure as the intensity, as the Y. Okay, so I'm going to go to wherever I am. Search for my SIF of PavPip.
Fine.
So this is a file that you can use all the time. Okay, have this as a stock PavPip input file.
Fine.
All you then start to do is you can copy and paste and change this XDD. What it means is that you constantly have got that. It's just a quick change of that line in the same directory, press go, you've fitted it.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so that it's not going to quite end up like that, but it's kind of similar. I'm going to go and send this to Topaz, but I first of all need to save it. So where are you? There we go. And I'm just going to call that MCZ FB received. What was that? Nov 23.imp. Okay, or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, so that everything highlights now because we're using it. I'm going to send it to Topaz, and if I go and bish bash bosh, right. So very quickly we're in this frame. Okay, it looks odd. Okay, so there's one thing that I haven't done yet.
Background.
Okay, so we've done the background. Okay, one thing we haven't done yet is we need to put a scale on this. Okay, what that means is that this intensity is just, it will have a certain intensity that arrive at. It was saying the maximum intensity is at 450 million. Okay, that's just ridiculous. You're never going to get 450 million from a diffractometer. So what we need to do is we need to scale that. And so we need to add in a scaling factor. And that's very simple. We can put in a scale factor in here.
Fine.
If I had not inserted the CIF file, I would have clicked on structure, I would have put in phase name, I would have put in space, and I would have put all this information. One thing we haven't also put in is phase name, so I can put in phase name. I know the title of that, so I can, so Myconazole free base received no 23. Okay, or equally, I could have gone and double clicked on that, and it would have given me $1. The dollar I would just replace with whatever I want.
Fine.
Okay, the same process. You can see that the scale, so it's saying the intensity that I'm going to give you, you know, you're going to take 1,000, 10,000 off that. 1,000, 10,000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 10,000 off that, okay? And then you're going to get beyond some sort of scale. Equally, we could start to think about peak type as well. Okay, so that's what the shape of the peak is like. I think TH said it's fine, we can put that in. We won't do that yet. We don't want to refine any of that yet. We want to just have it there, but just actually what we'll do, I'll put it in, but I'll just put a comment here. So it's not going to use it. It's just a
Okay, fine.
a dash, okay, apostrophe, sorry. But you can see all these other things. Lattice parameters are already in, sites are already in, preferred orientation, we haven't done that, but presume that it isn't. The rest of it we can come to if need be, but for a simple structure, let's just go with that. If we click on this now, you can see it's disappeared, but we're in a much, much better scale-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, we're roughly there. So we can click on yes to that and click on yes. Okay, it's not particularly helpful, but you can see the background is pretty woeful as well. Okay, so what we want to do is, we've not really refined anything or done anything. What has been refined is our scale. We've also not put in enough zeros into our background. Okay, so we can do that again, making it a little bit better, a little bit, fractions better. Okay, but our intensities are all over the shop as well. You can sort of see here that this is meant to be quite a strong one. We just need that over a little bit. So you can see that we're almost, in the difference curve, you can see we're kind of going down and then back up.
Yeah.
That's showing that we're not too far off. Okay, our cell parameters are going to be taken at whatever 100 degrees this from PathPip, I don't know, but we're quite close. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try and just get this thing going. Now it's good to have this, because if you've already done this at home with an ambient pressure, ambient temperature, you'll already have this. So all you need to do this once. You only need to muck around with it once, which we've done in the past. So we're kind of going over things again a little bit, but you can see by refining that it's not done anything.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not shaking up everything. What I'll do is I'll open up the peaks. It allows it to do this, and hopefully I'll allow it to move a little bit more. Because you're allowed to expand it like this, it can expand and shrink, and therefore it's got a bit of stepping. It's able to move along the x-axis a little bit. If it expands, then kicks into a thing, and it will do this.
Okay.
Okay, if it's not quite there yet. Equally, we could just change numbers and change the unit cell so it moves along the x or moves along this way or that way. That's one way of doing it.
Okay.
That gives us a better starting point. We might have to do that in a minute, but I'll try not to do it because it's a pain. Right, so we'll go and do that. We're opening up that thing there. Okay, so you can see that by doing that, by having that ability to do that, it's gone and sucked in.
Yeah.
Now the question is, have you got the right peaks everywhere? Okay, so you can see there's a peak over here, you're fitting that one reasonably well. There's a peak here that's fit really well.
Yeah.
These two seem to be fitting okay. This one's missed out.
Yeah.
This one's a 3. So you're right, you have got a mixed phase of this material. Okay, you've got PathPip by itself, the free base, but you've also got something else in here too. Now the question is, what is that something else? Now, by having in this, you've already done PathPip. You've already done that. phase name. That's not what the phase name is at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the PavPip cell. That's what it's called. It's not the. Okay, so
if we just my question is if I wanna include MiCONZ hemihydrate,
Yeah.
like how we can add the details
So-
of that.
you come down here.
Yeah.
Underneath it. So this is your PavPip. This is, you could save this as a pavpip.imp and then save as and change the file name as you change it. So a stock pavpip
Okay.
file, which you've got right now, have that, and then you can save as, I don't know, my
Before
receipt-
entering
before
the
changing
other.
anything.
Yeah.
So this is the safe file. So you want to copy and paste it into your next thing. Save as received
Yes, sir.
material March 2024 IMP. That is now you've got a pavpip that you can go against. Okay, if for example you want to add in the hemihydrate, has that got a name or is that
MiCONZ02
CO?
NZ.
Right. Okay, so here for example, let's just save that as okay, right? Similar thing. Okay, so all I need to do is what are we needing to add? We're not needing to add any data, we're not needing to add any instrument parameters. All we wanted to do is add a structure. Okay, so we can go back up here, done that, insert CIF. Okay, so we're adding in the phase level CIF. So we can go open with that. Now you can see that's now entered as another structure underneath it.
Yep.
It's using the same XDD, it's using the same diffraction file, but you're adding in multiple phases now.
Fine.
Okay. Now from here, what do we need to add? Structure we've got. Phase name. Right.
Scale might be
Okay, yep. I'll come to that too. Right, so okay, so we can double click on phase name this time round and do it this way. So what we're doing, this is Myconazole or whatever it is.
MiCONZ.
Z02. Okay. Hemihydrate. Okay. And close brackets. Okay. What did you say? You needed a scale bar, scale function. Okay. So at what was that level of that? That was about 1, something like that. Okay, so we've got our scale factor for this thing. What else do we need to think about? Okay, we could do our this as well. Okay, so we'll just do that for the moment, just to get us set, and then we can get into it.
Okay.
Others parameters we've got, site we've got, provider owned, blah blah. Okay, we've got everything we need now. So we can click on Topaz and then run again. Okay, so this time round, how are we getting on? So you can see now we've got the pavpip cell that is well fitting, but our Myconazole hemihydrate is not quite there. You can see it's tiny, it's not even registering on the background. That means the scale function is so small.
Okay.
Because what it does do is it uses the atoms, but it does say, actually, is there an intensity here? And it kind of says, okay, that's what my intensity of my pattern is. I'm going to scale all my intensities to that.
Okay.
So when I say the polyfit uses the intensities, that's correct.
It will just take them off.
The Rietveld uses an intensity to say, oh, right, that's the scale I'm meant to be on. Okay, I'm going to scale it to be, so it is at a level of 700 rather than 45 million or whatever it was. Okay, so the Rietveld does use the intensity from the pattern, and that's why it's so small, because the peak is not at an intensity. But you can see here that these two fit. Okay, and this one, there may be a combination of them both in there. If we look a little bit, we could have this one in here, this one in here. If we look down, this one maybe in here. So these two in here. Okay, so we're really quite close. We're not too far away. So let's try and see whether we can do this trick again. Okay, and I'm going to go and put in my function here. Peak shape. Okay. How well is that done? not at
Yeah.
all well. Okay, it's not gone well at all. Okay, so we've not been able to do that. We've not been able to achieve what we're wanting to achieve.
So for background, might be we need to add more 000.
So the background is for everything. Okay,
okay,
you don't
fine.
have a background
Okay.
separately for each of them. Okay, this is the tricky part now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do that, and we're going to. Oh, we didn't do this bit yet. Idiot. Right, so I'm going to try and refine my parameters now, see whether that works. Oof. No, not really. Okay, now let's do that. Let's just say yes to that, and let's switch this fella on as well. What happens now? Okay. It's struggling. You can see it's really struggling.
Yeah.
It's just not working. It's causing everything to be really rather broad. Okay, so we need another course of action here. So I'm gonna. That's rubbish now. Let's reset it. Okay.
So you just deleted and like are entering the yes, yeah.
Just so I can get the same number, the better numbers. Lazy, but it's easy to do. Okay, so what I now need to know is I need to manufacture this somehow. I need to change the cell parameters so that they're better reflective of what the pattern is I'm seeing.
Okay.
Okay, so one way of doing this is to try and look at individual reflections and see which unit cell parameter contributes to it.
Okay.
So here, for example, is a great one. The 0, 2, 0. Okay, that's the B-axis.
Yeah,
Now, if
which
you can
is
imagine, which is?
like which is this way.
Yeah, okay, so so your B-axis is like this.
Yeah.
If you're perpendicular to your B-axis is your beta angle.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the good thing and the brilliant thing about the beta axis in a monoclinic system is if it says 020 is 16.40, we double that.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the 2 reflections, so we need to
Yeah.
double that. Okay. So we're at 32.81 at the moment.
So it should be 64.
So it is saying, if I hover my mouse over here, it is saying 15.74. So that's 31.4.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And
yes.
I can put that value in, 31.4. Because I don't need to worry about anything else.
Okay, yeah.
So if I click on that, and I'm going to take off all these refinement tabs, because we just want to play around with it first of all a little bit. Is that 120 degree? I'm worried that the angle's gone. Yeah. Let's get back to some sort of sense of reality. 806
06303
30
33.
33.
Oh no,
we'll
yes,
just
see.
change that one. So
Yeah, 16.5481.
Okay, and then 117 point something. Okay, so we're back to some sort of normal. We've edited this one because we want to get that thing there. So if I click on send, I'm going to just take off this for the moment. Send, and then just have a look at where this goes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so we've sorted out the B-axis. The B-axis we are not going to change.
Yes.
That B-axis will be that value. Right, what's this one now? This one is the 0, 1, 1.
0, 1, 1. So that is our C.
So the B and the C axis contributes to where that thing is going.
Yeah.
We've already said B is fixed.
Yeah.
So if we want to move that peak,
C.
we need to move C, but also we can think about the beta angle as well. Let's not. Let's just think about the axis length, and beta hopefully will sort itself out because it's a it's a sign of the beta angle that you need to contribute to as well.
Okay.
But let's just not do that. Is that reasonable placement? Actually, it looks pretty good to me.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so let's just not do anything yet. If we have a look at this one here, how is that one looking? That's the 0, 3,
3,
1.
1. That is again B and C.
Is it corresponding reasonably? Reasonable. Okay. What about these two? 0, 4, 0. Okay. And the 1, 1, 1. So you can see that the 0, 4, 0,
Yeah.
the more we've added in, it's pushed out a little bit further. So what we could possibly do is just move it back a little bit. I think we've gone a bit too small with the beta angle. Okay, so we've done this once.
Yeah.
We may be over the the right hand side of that peak now. We just want to maybe tweak it back a little bit.
Okay, so we will change the beta value.
No, B value. Okay, we're wanting to move it to lower 2 theta. So do we want to go up or down?
Down. No, up. Like we double
Okay.
it.
So we don't want to double it, but we're wanting to lower 2 theta, higher D spacing.
Yep.
Okay, so we want to increase our D spacing there. So we can maybe do, say, 31.7, for example.
Okay.
Right? We go back here, click on that, and we are getting there. So where was that? 4? 4 is
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not do that. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go to maybe say 9. Okay, and okay, so that's sort of getting
Into
where we
the
need to go.
yeah.
Right, so that's our beta angles. Okay, our C axis seems to be okay actually. Where's the other misfitting peaks? It's these two here. Okay, so there's a myriad of peaks here. There's about 3 or 4 different peaks in amongst this. This is where we want to have a look at your diffraction data here. Okay, I'm going to customize this so it becomes 4 to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, and apply that. So this is what your diffraction pattern should look like. Now what we're looking at is about 15 degrees.
Yeah, and there are 3 kind of.
Okay, so we can start looking around there. Now, you can see that we're misfitting some of this. So we've got a couple that are all right and then some that aren't. So if you actually look at that structure, that's kind of looking like we've got here, isn't it? There's a wee one over there which might contribute here. Then there's a bit this one that can add into this little bit here. We've got another bang bang there that there's probably 1, 2, maybe 3 in here. Okay, so the good thing is if we hover over our mouse at each of these, you can see that they're all individual peaks.
Yeah.
Okay, what we can do is we can go and focus in on this as well. So where are our peaks? Okay, we have got our 1, 4, minus 1. Okay, so where are we? 1, 4. There. 1 minus 4
Minus 1.
1, 3, 2. So, oh yeah, I'm way high. I'm too high. I'm way too high. Okay, so scratch that. So I think these ones here might be these ones in here. Okay, so if we go 1, 3, minus 2, 1, 3, minus 2. Okay, so I think that's possibly where that is going. So 1, 3, minus 2, and 0, 5, 1. 0, 5, 1.
130.
Okay, so 0, 5, 1 should be about right. 130 is way too that way. Okay, so let's consider that. So if we start, we think that C is okay. A is the one that we're really needing to worry about, I think. If we play around with A, this isn't going to move. 0, 5, 1 is not going to move particularly. It might, with the beta angle it might, but the 1, minus 3, minus 2, which is the big one here, that's got a component,
1, 3,
so that
minus
will
2.
move up. So
Yeah.
that will move up, this will move up. Okay, so let's click on no there, and we're going to tweak this. We want to move them all to that angle, so where are we going? Up or down?
This way up 8.1.
Right, so we're wanting to move 2 theta up this way. So if
Oh, no,
theta
yes,
goes
yeah,
up, d
decrease.
spacing. Right.
So 7.9.
Okay, so let's go and put 7.9. A real ballpark. You're not destroying anything. You're not. This isn't experimentally poor behaviour or anything like that. It's just the way that in which we can come through this. So we've got 051. Now we've got 130 and 132. So if you think about that, 051, then it's 130, then it's 132.
Yeah.
So we've got the order right by doing that now, and this hasn't moved, and these two are. We need to move this up a wee bit further. Okay, so what do we need to do?
Again 7.8.
Okay, so we're now getting into it. We're now getting pushing out a little bit, pushing up into this system, into this peak in here. Right. I think we possibly need a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go 7.7. Okay, 130 and 132. Okay, so that's maybe gone perhaps a little high, but we'll see. 042, what's that? Is that anywhere? We need to maybe reset zoom and
042, yeah.
042 is this tiny little thing.
111.
What's this one?
121.
06. I saw 6 somewhere. Where did I see
061.
Oh, I saw that one there. Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? Let's just do that. So say yes. I think we're pretty good. Let's just expand that out a wee bit. Unzoom. How are we looking? Looks good. Looks good. This looks okay. This looks okay. These look reasonable. Okay, I think we should just go.
So sorry. So basically, what you are doing, you are taking the peaks up to the difference point, like the points which are at the bottom.
Yeah.
And you are trying to move the difference to the positions of the peaks.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Exactly. So what you fitted PathPip, and we know that that's correct, and that seems like a fairly good fit. What we need to do is fit the misfits. Okay, and your misfits are a different structure. And so we're starting to see here, for example, this one is potentially 151.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is that 151? Is that in here somewhere?
15 minus 1.
15 minus 1. Okay, what is this big peak? 121.
121.
So that's there, right?
Yeah.
So we need to somehow get it up there a little bit. So then we're not, it's just something not quite right, but I'm going to press go on this anyway and just see what happens. I suspect we probably needed to decrease C a little bit. Thereby, if we decrease that one, then we might need to increase others. But anyway, we'll just see what happens. Okay, nothing has happened. Send. That's because that was a bit too low. Okay. So you can see it's sort of trying to do it.
Yep.
But it's not quite there yet. Now, where are we? This one seems to be okay. 151, 132, and 130. Where are the other? We're assuming this is a randomly orientated powder. Okay, and so what we should be seeing is a similar sort of quantity of the heights should all be reasonably in line with one another. So 15 degrees, we are getting bish, bash, bosh, bish, bash, bosh in here. This one here is the 141, so the 141 should be, yeah, 141, 141 minus 1, yeah. So this one is here. So this really needs to get down this way. So we need to get, let's, we haven't decreased the C any, have we? So we went down, what, from 8 to 0.3, 8 down 0.3 to 7.7. So let's go down to, it's a bigger axis, so let's see, maybe that shrinks a little bit faster, okay, or shrinks or compresses a little bit faster, okay. Let's try that and click on that. Okay.
It's moved.
It has moved. This one hasn't moved much because we've not done anything with it. The 102, so about 13 degrees. 13.2 degrees, we are looking at the 020 or the 121. Zero
022.
Yeah, so you can see we've pushed that way up here, which I think is possibly a bit beyond. What about reset 18 degrees? 18 degrees. 052131. 052131. 052131. Okay,
yeah.
so I think we've overshot by a country mile. Okay, so let's pick that back up again. Let's go to 2, for example. Now, one thing I could do is look at the crystal structure. Right, if we look at the unit cell parameters, how shrinking or compressible is the C-axis? Okay, so if you look at the molecule, is that going to be expanding in
C direction?
In this direction here.
I don't understand exactly.
So if you think about the molecule itself, the molecule itself is taking up a large portion of that C, so there's not huge amount of void space for it to compress or to shrink into. You could say similarly about the B direction, but you can see from the crystal structure they're going to go in like they're going to lock in like a something like this. So it's going to be fairly compressible. But B we have a good handle on anyway. So it may not. When I said that shrunk by 0.6 or whatever, it may not do. It might be a lot less. More rigid.
Okay.
So I've changed that to 16.2. Oh, right, that is okay. 13.2. Let's go back in